All right, so our journey today takes us in Belize, all the way to the Joe Taylor Creek Bridge, which is in Punta Gorda. So this yellow line that you're seeing here, just to give you some background, that's a southern highway coming in to Punta Gorda, and it is paved coming around this way on the seaside, coming into our little town. This road here is a new road. It is unpaved, right? Not used a lot because of its condition, but there are some farms in this area also. So this being the main road, Joe Taylor Creek Bridge, as we can see, is all the way here coming into the entrance of town across this creek that you see here. Right? So there's a fishing lodge in the area, and the bridge is located somewhere in here. So this is the river mouth, or the creek mouth, goes upwards. It is a great place for kayaking and so forth, and you can see it stretches all the way up through Hopeville. So it's about somewhere around, I think, 2 kilometers long, maybe more. But it's a great area to say that we probably could use more fishing boats and skiff past underneath here. So people do park their boats up top here. Would be a nice place actually to have a marina or something like that, where whenever there's a hurricane approaching or so forth, we can have the boats up, or people can avoid pulling in their boats by trailer and just park it up and maybe have somewhere that they can store it, some sort of marina established. But that's the bridge I'm talking about today. So I went in, did some videos on Joe Taylor Creek Bridge. I do apologize for the audio. I was kind of forced to do the voiceover because my audio came out bad during the shooting. And of course, this does happen from time to time, so I do expect it. But I want to give you a little bit of history that I found about the bridge itself, which I have been looking up. So, and just these are some things I didn't know. Don't quote me on them for them to be factual. I'm just reading some of them off the internet. This one I got from a website, mybelizeexperience.com, that talks about why the name Joe Taylor was given to the bridge, and says that Joe Taylor was an old butcher. So he had a butcher shop, a meat shop, somewhere where that bridge is located right now, and he used to supply the different areas with meat and fish, right, until he died. And then therefore then the bridge carried on his name, so his name is carried through by the name of the bridge. Again, I can't verify the story, but I'll tell you that if you are familiar with the history of Joe Taylor Creek Bridge, can you please comment it below so that we know, right? So according to it, the bridge is named from an old butcher who lived in that particular area. So again, Joe Taylor is just one of the great examples of Belize's unique combination of history and nature, right? And I'm getting this off the same website. Not only can you ponder the story of the old butcher and the out-of-place volcanic rocks, so apparently there are some volcanic rocks up the creek area, right? But it's a beautiful area for kayaking. It's a beautiful area for taking the boat. A lot of people look at the old bridge and, we really would like to get it repaired. It's 2020. We're in 2021, January, and it's showing some aging now. And so we really need to get that change or repair. And the idea is that the change would bring something that would allow the boats to pass underneath the bridge quite comfortably. Because as is, the guys have to wait until the tide is low to pass their boats under the bridge. Or if you're kayaking, then it's a real beautiful scenery, right? So again, from what I'm gathering from some of the reading I'm doing on Joe Taylor Creek Bridge, it was erected I think sometime in 1978, and so it has a little bit over 40 years compared to when you think about some of the other bridges that exist here in Belize. There are bridges like the Swing Bridge in Belize City that I think saw some repair, and that was constructed sometime in 1922. There is the Haxford Bridge in Santa Elena. I think it was constructed in 1949. There's the Old Banana Bridge. The bridges that they have been replaced on the Hummingbird Highway. Those were constructed somewhere in 1907 to 1912, and we could have basically tell the age of construction by how these bridges were built, and they really deteriorated before we decided to change them. And there is the bridge over to Northern Burgess, and again that was also changed recently. Then there's a suspension bridge over Chan Creek, right, and Galanjog, and that was constructed somewhere around 1987, somewhere about that. Other bridges to note: there's a Belchina Bridge, there is the Valley Bridge or the Banana Bank Bridge, there's one at Barrel Boom, there's a bridge at Rancho Dolores, there's Kendall and City River. Kendall Bridge again was changed recently because of a flood. There is the bridge over the Rio Hondo at the Mexican border. There's a bridge over the Mopan River that at the Guatemala border to Melchor. There is also a bridge over Nerdstan Creek, right, St. Vincent de Commerce Street in Angria. There is a bridge of my interest, which is here in Punta Gorda, and that's the Joe Taylor Creek Bridge that brings us in from the Southern Highway. So it definitely serves as a main entrance into town, right? And then there are some other bridges to note in Belize up north. And there's a toll bridge, right? I think it's one of our older toll bridge that actually collects toll with the hopes of putting that money back into the upkeep of the bridge. Another part to the research that I'm finding is that there was a guy named Cadet Henderson. He had, in a report in 2008, had mentioned that, you know what, it's time for us to look at some of these old bridges, right, that are 40 years and over, and see if they need repair. And so he added some sort of inspection be done on some of these bridges. But of course, for the most part, the government of the day at that time found a way to not make it happen, right? And it's something that we continue to do. We continue to build these things without putting any maintenance money aside, right? So I also took a little journey under the bridge, which you guys will see now. All right, so this is what the bottom of the bridge looks like. And I'm just using my phone far away. That's a small vehicle passing, and you can see all that shaking happening. But to give you an idea, see how low I can go of how the bottom of the bridge looks. And boats navigate up and down in the river. Show a cross platform. Show how it's rotted out. Right, so this is actually finished. And this is just another part of, in case we didn't see it, this rotten bridge, the Joe Taylor Creek Bridge, sitting here for years. Nice scenery up in the river though. So there are some upkeep that happens. Our group also built the walkway, if I can call it that, or the pedestrian walkway on the side of the bridge recently, because they saw that there was a need for that, where people can cross the bridge without actually, because the bridge is so narrow, you can cross the bridge without actually going where the trucks would run, right? And even for the buses, I know there's problems to pass this bridge because of the length of the bus, and the approach is kind of on an S. And so for if there is any construction that will happen soon or in the near future, they do have to consider all that there's boats crossing underneath, and there's also a large transportation or large trucks that pass over this bridge. keep in mind, and just to throw out some ideas, we could either divert the bridge, or divert for construction, or they could build the bridge in two sections, right? And men are so innovative these days that I'm sure they could build one section first and then build the other section to make it a double lane bridge, but that is high enough to allow boats to traffic underneath and allow vehicular traffic to go over, right? Again, a great spot for people looking to do some bird watching, do some fishing, do a little bit of kayaking, or just want to see nature, right? So that's the Joe Taylor Creek Bridge in Punta Gorda Town, Belize.